Hello everyone and welcome to the course on communication skills, business communication. This is Dr. Mahesh B. Shinde, Associate Professor in English and Communication Skills, KIT's College of Engineering, Kolhapur. In unit number 1, 2 and 3, we have seen, let us take the review of first 3 units. Unit 1, importance of communication, origin and definitions. Lesson number 2, characteristics of communication, levels of communication. And lesson number 3, elements of communication, communication cycle, communication process. The fourth lesson, unit number 1, lesson number 4 deals with the methods of communication, verbal and non-verbal, but this lesson will focus on the verbal method of communication. The objectives are: understand differences between verbal and non-verbal ways of communication, understand differences between oral and written communication. So let us move ahead and see the types or the methods of communication. Broadly speaking, there are 2 types. Communication takes place either in verbal way or in non-verbal way. Now what is verbal, what is non-verbal, we will see. Verbal communication includes oral and written communication, whereas non-verbal communication includes various parts. So talking about the definitions in simple terms, verbal communication is the communication with the help of words, and non-verbal communication is the communication without help of any words but with the help of some signs, signals, symbols, graphs, charts and so on. So that is verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal includes oral and written communication, whereas non-verbal communication is a huge term and it is a very huge area of research, and it includes varieties of things like appearance, that is your over decoration, kinesics, that is your body language, gestures, postures, facial expressions, oculesics, study of eye contact, haptics, study of touch, then we have proxemics, study of distance, chronomics, study of time, paralinguistics, tone, pitch, voice, intonation, etc. Some others like signs, signals, symbols, charts and so on, and the silence. So we are going to discuss about non-verbal communication in very detail in our next lessons. Let us focus today in this lesson on verbal communication. So here is a reflection spot for you. Just pause the video and answer the following questions. Can you differentiate between verbal and non-verbal methods of communication? Second, whether written communication is verbal or non-verbal. Just pause the video and resume once you are ready with your answers, either in your mind or written in the notebook. So I hope you have got the answers. So the difference between, as I told, verbal and non-verbal is verbal communication is with the help of words, communication with the help of words, and non-verbal is without using words but by using some pictures, signals, symbols, charts and so many other non-verbal aspects. And most of the time we get confused with written communication. We think that written communication is a non-verbal communication. Why is it so? Because we are taking verbal communication means just oral communication. But no, as we have seen previously, verbal communication is both oral and written, and that is why written communication is a verbal way of communication. So let us see those forms of verbal communication. Simply defined, communication with the help of words. Most of the time it is misunderstood as oral communication, that is only speaking, but it includes spoken as well as written communication. So oral communication of this verbal, let us say oral communication, the examples or the forms: day-to-day face-to-face communication, telephonic conversations, news on television, radio, FM, videos and podcasts on all electronic media and social networking platforms, seminars, conferences, group discussions, presentations, lecturing, like this, everything is the example of oral communication. Written communication: print media, newspapers, magazines, books, etc. Text messages on all social media networking platforms, for example WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter and so on. Official correspondence like business letters, reports, proposals, notices, curriculum, etc. All these are the examples of written communication. Now the examples, let us see the examples of verbal communication. Now even if we in next lesson we are going to see that non-verbal communication is most important, but in that we should not underestimate the importance of verbal communication also, because of course, you must have heard about this particular saying, the words are weapons, they can heal or they can kill. We have to use the words very carefully. Now, we need to understand the difference between oral and written communication in professional business context and understand which has more weightage and which has more legal validity in professional context, oral or written, in from verbal, oral or written. So that difference we are going to see ahead. So oral communication and written communication. The first difference is oral communication is very fast. It is faster. Whatever I would like to communicate, I can immediately communicate to you. But written communication is time consuming. It will take some time for me to type the message or make the notice and send it to you. So oral communication is faster, written communication is time consuming. Second difference is in oral communication, if there are any mistakes, the mistakes can be corrected immediately. You must have observed that I am making some mistakes, some grammatical mistakes or some constructional mistakes. So I am immediately correcting those mistakes so that the correct message is provided to you. So in oral communication, the mistakes can be corrected immediately. But if it is written communication, it will take time. For example, I have typed something and I have sent. After some time, I come to know, again I have to retype and send, or a notice is there. If there is any mistake, then I have to redraft the notice and send. Fortunately, on WhatsApp, you must have observed that these days we can delete the message for all, or even we can edit the message. If you have sent and in a message you have sent one wrong thing, a date or a time or a word or a spelling mistake, immediately you can edit and you can rectify that. So still, in oral communication it is fast to do it, but in written communication it will take some time. Next difference, major difference is oral communication is flexible. I can change my talk, I can change my speech as per the need of audience, as per the need of the time and the occasion. But in written communication, it is inflexible, it is rigid. We have to follow some particular pattern. So when we are speaking, we may change our beginning, our end, middle. Sometimes we may ask questions. But if it is oral notice, I have to follow the draft. A letter, I have to follow the given format. Then only it will become successful. Then next difference is oral communication. This is the biggest difference and very important difference. Oral communication has less or no legal validity, but written communication has more legal validity. That is, if you are promising something orally, nobody will believe. But if you want to take the promises from someone confirmly, you have to take it in written. That's why when general communication also we say to each other, when you friends are saying something or betting about something, you say, can you give me in writing? Give me in writing, then only I will believe. That is, written communication has more legal validity than the oral communication. Oral communication promises and all that may be denied in future when legal atmosphere comes. But in written, if we have some written proof, that will be considered as more legal validity. Oral communication is assisted with non-verbal cues. Right now you can listen me, you can watch me, you are observing my facial expressions, you are observing my gestures, so you are understanding very well. But in written communication, it has low cues. It depends only on words, no other cues except full stop, comma and other punctuation marks. So written communication takes time to interpret, but oral communication is understood faster as it is assisted with some non-verbal cues. And in oral communication, we get immediate feedback. That is, I ask you a question and you reply. So immediate feedback. But in written communication, the feedback is delayed. For example, some message is sent, you read it as per your time and you respond to that message after some time. So that is why in written communication, there is a delay in the feedback. So this is the difference between oral and written communication. The major one is oral communication has more legal validity than written communication. That's the end of lesson number 4. In lesson 5, we will talk on the non-verbal method of communication and we will focus more on the appearance. Thank you so much and see you in the lesson 5.